During the first stage of interphase, the cell is growing and creating proteins for all its necessary functions. The second stage of interphase is replication. During replication, the DNA unwinds and free bases line up along it, matching A to T and C to G. The result is two identical copies of DNA. Important because each new cell will need its own copy and the cells need to be identical. Third stage of interphase is continued growth. DNA exists in the form of chromatin, which is loosely coiled, and that's important because RNA still needs to be made so that proteins can be produced. It needs to be loosely coiled so that sections of it can unwind for the RNA to be made. Organelles need to be duplicated in anticipation of a new cell. Organelles such as a mitochondria would be replicated now. Deoxyribonucleic acid, also known as DNA, exists in the form of a double helix. The sides of a double helix are made up of phosphate and sugar. The bases are all made up of guanine, thymine, adenine, and cytosine. Guanine matching with cytosine and adenine matching with thymine is the second stage of a cell's life. It's split into 4 parts: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. During the first stage of mitosis, which is prophase, replicated chromosomes coil into X shapes and become visible under a light microscope. The nucleolus disappears and the nuclear membrane begins to break down. Spindle fibers, which are tube-like structures made of protein, begin to form and stretch across the cell from centrioles.
So wait, this is N. Wait, what? How would the cell membrane?
The spindle fibers start to attach to the chromosomes at their centromeres.
Cytokinesis in skin cells. Once mitosis is with the animal cells, the cell membrane pinches together and the cytoplasm divides. Pinches together. I don't know how it would pinch together. Y'all know how the
nuclear membrane has now disappeared. In the second stage of mitosis, which is metaphase, spindle fibers pull the chromosomes into a line across the equator of the cell. During the third stage of mitosis, which is anaphase, the spindle fibers begin to shorten, pulling the chromosomes apart at their centromere. They pull them towards opposite ends of the poles, so half of the X formation is at each end. Each sister chromatid is now considered to be their own chromosome. Is the final stage of mitosis. In this stage, one complete set of chromosomes is at each end of the cell. The spindle fibers begin to disappear until they are completely gone, and a nuclear membrane forms around each chromosome set, and another nucleolus appears. The result is 2 nuclei in one cell, and a cell that's ready to divide. The next and last stage of the cell's life is cytokinesis. During this stage, the cell will separate into 2 cells. Because each cell already has all the organelles, which have been duplicated, and its own set of chromosomes, they are all ready to be their own cell.